You know what time it is! You know what time it is! E-S-T-L-E-S-T-L! And you know what underdogs is? It's a hungry dog!
And the second stick away, and the Eagles are alive! Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you! Let the celebration begin!
All right, everyone, and welcome to episode 66 of the Winging It podcast. Guys, it's been kind of a traumatic week here in Philadelphia. The Phillies lost the NLCS to the Diamondbacks at home, so we're just going to compartmentalize those feelings and jam them down there and hope that it never pokes their head back out. The Philadelphia Eagles picked up Kevin Byard. Howie Roseman absolutely fleeced the Titans. We're going to talk a little bit about that. But guys, I want to introduce our guest today. In my opinion, this guy is the funniest content creator coming out of Philly, maybe even the entire U.S. This dude always has a smile on his face. You can find him not remembering where he is at the Club 215 tailgates. He's taken over your social media feed. Everyone, give a Winging It welcome to Malik Joe.
Let's get it. What up,
Malik?
What up?
Malik, you're outside. You're talking to us about this event you're at. Forged Irish Stout, Conor McGregor's brand.
Yeah.
You're just running around all Philly, man. What's been going on in your world recently?
Man, my world has been flipped upside down, like Will Smith said. Turned and flipped upside down, man. I've been everywhere. I've been diving in with all these brands, getting partnered up. I'm actually doing a shoot with the Bruno brothers in like 2 hours. So like, I've been just like, I want to be on your phone at all times. Like I want to, every time you stroll, I just want you to see me. And honestly, it's because of my damn ex-girlfriend. And she pissed me off. So I just want to make sure all the content that I do, she gets seen. No, I'm sure. Not really.
Can we just talk about that? I just want to talk about your previous relationship. We don't even have to talk about anything else.
Delco girls, man, I fucking hate them, but I love them. I don't know what the hell the problem is. They get me every time.
Oh man, so we're coming off a crazy week with the Phillies. I saw a ton of content that you'd be pushing out.
Yeah.
What do you think about this whole Philadelphia Phillies thing? Like, where's your fandom really lie? Like, are you like all birds? I mean, you said in one of your videos you're black, you don't watch baseball. Oh wait, we're in the playoffs. Let's go Phils. Like,
that's true.
What's your honest outtake on the sports layout of the city?
So like I'm full in on Eagles. I was a football player, and I feel like you attach to the sports that you play the most. I played football all the way until college, whatever, and then basketball. I like basketball. I'm really more of a contact sport type of person. Obviously, hence the boxing glove. I used to be a professional boxer, a Muay Thai fighter. So I like boxing. I like football. I do like baseball. I enjoy being at baseball games. Nothing's compared to hockey. Being at the game though, because at the game at a hockey game is nuts. Same with a baseball game. I'd rather be at a baseball game than at a football game, but I'd rather watch football. But I do love the Phillies. They are great. I'm not going to watch 162 games. I'm probably going to watch like all the way down to, are they going to make it to the playoffs? All right, I'm going to start right there.
So I guess to that point though, like, even if you are more of just kind of a bandwagon or just kind of hopping on during the playoffs,
yeah.
Did you watch the entire Game 7? And I am kind of curious, even if you are just kind of like not a heavy fan, like what it still felt like afterwards. Were you still like really deflated, or did you bounce back right away?
I was really deflated. I was at Del Frisco's and like I was watching the game and I'm sitting there and I'm just like, I watched the whole game all the way to the end. I always watch the playoff games to the end because you never know what can happen in baseball, especially baseball. And it was just like, damn, it felt like the whole city was sad. It was just, I go outside and they're like pulling the barricades up. They're like moving everything around and it's just quiet. It's like nobody's saying anything. I'm like, damn, man, we fucking just lost. It was sad, man. It was a sad day.
Yeah.
I heard all my food when I was eating. I heard all the shit hitting the plate. I heard all the clinking.
What are you going to do with all that grease on the poles now? Is there someone going to be there with some Windex getting it all off? Like,
how does that work?
Can't be climbing it.
Yeah, because I feel like every time they grease the poles, I guess we use them and then knock the grease. I have no idea. Maybe they just keep them greasy. Maybe I go to a pole, put my hand on it, falls through the city. Who knows?
So Malik, I got a question for you. You make so much original content. I don't think a lot of people understand how difficult it is to make something catchy, something that goes viral. And you've done it so many times. Like, I think my favorite series from you has to be the NFL mic'd up dubbed overs things that you do. Yeah. Like, it's borderline genius. It's hilarious. It's super relevant. It's simple, but it's like really hard to do that. Dunphy absolutely praised your work ethic when you were on here last time. Like, are you always thinking about new ideas? Like
I
on
am
this podcast
always.
today, talking about Delco girls, like what is the mind of Malik Joe look like at all times?
I don't want to coin myself like a mad scientist, but I feel like a mad scientist at times because I'm always thinking about content or like something I can make funny and like just like oversimplifying something so it's hilarious. And like if you've seen some of my podcasts and like some of the times the guests don't even get the jokes that I say. And it's just like the funniest shit, but like I'm always get after it. I'm always trying to put a video out. I'll put out 40 videos a day because I got so much in my head that I want to do, and you can't put a ceiling on creativity. Like I'm the person that I can't deal with ceiling. So if I used to work at a job and I became the manager, if I can't go higher, then I don't want to work there anymore. You can't put a ceiling on me. So like if there's anything I can be in a realm where there's no ceiling, I can create. The sky is the limit.
So Malik,
No dome games. No dome games for this guy.
No damn games. No dome games. No sir. Alsaski.
so Malik, I had an opportunity to go through your TikTok in its entirety this morning, and I went all the way back to when you first started, when you weren't getting a lot of video impressions, you weren't getting a lot of likes, but holy cow, man, you kept going. What does it take to sort of have that sort of resilience to continue to post content until something sticks, right? Because I was looking at some of your early videos talking about the rainbow colors. I was like literally laughing out loud, and how it didn't go viral.
That video was hilarious.
But how it didn't go viral, I was like, what's going on? The algorithm, like what is going through your mind at that early stage to just like keep pushing through?
So I think it's more of like I always attach myself to some whatever it is. I just know that effort is going to get you seen, no matter what, no matter how many times. If you keep knocking on the presidential door, you eventually be going to come to president. If you just keep knocking every day, they got to move out your way. So I always had that mentality. Whatever I was attached to, whether it was boxing, whether it was football, now it's this, and you just like I'm going to keep going because I know people laugh at my jokes in real life. You know what I'm saying? So I know I'm funny. I know it's hitting. I know it's clicking. It's just waiting on the right person to see it, and then the right person saw it. His name was Meek Mill, and went crazy.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and that's a crazy thing too, man. I think a lot of people look at you as like, oh, you just act a clown behind the camera. Like you have a crazy past. That like, I mean, you want to talk about humble beginnings coming from nothing. Yeah. There's always one saying like, I'm in sales. I've had success before, and people will say that you've walked into something. But I think this saying that resonates is like, the harder I work, the luckier I get.
Seriously.
Right?
Seriously.
The harder I work, the luckier I get.
And the work don't get no easier.
So, I mean, I don't want to bring you back to like a dark time, but like how through some of like, when you literally had nothing, living out of your car, homeless, when you're at your lowest, how did you maintain that positive energy and say, hey, I'm going to get myself out of here? And now look at you, man. You're one of the most popular content creators in Philly.
That's facts. So like I said, like I know that in my head, like even when I was homeless, I never had a doubt in my mind that like I wasn't going to do something great in life, like that, like being home. Like my friends were like, like not my, some people that knew about it, they were like, oh my god, like you went through that, that's crazy. I'm like, it didn't even bat an eye to me that I was homeless. Like I'm not worried about that. Like being homeless, I'm not worried about not having a leg. You could take an arm from me, I'm still going to win at the end of the day. You can't put a ceiling. You can't stop the Malik Joe train because I'm just wired. Like I'm just wired to fucking keep going. So I mean, I was homeless and I wasn't down on my luck. I still had 1 million views when I was homeless. I was still making videos every day homeless. I made a video for 2 years straight, a video every single day. Even I was homeless for like 3 months, and I was making videos still every day.
That's incredible. Have you like, what were you like when you were younger? I mean, were you kind of the class clown, or were you more of a quiet, reserved kid?
No, I was definitely the class clown. I got class clown award every year that was available. And like I never like put like I was playing football, like so I never like put like, hey, maybe I can like just do that and like comedy. I was playing football and like I said, whatever I'm attached to, I'm taking it to the nines, like it's whatever it is. So I was playing football. I was trying to be the best. I'm head and shoulders. First person at practice, last one to leave. Watching film, the whole nine. Like I'm the only person in public school at the time watching film of the other team. Like everybody else, like, man, we gonna go party. I was doing that. So like, it was a rough upbringing, but I always knew whatever was instilled in me that don't stop. Just don't stop. They're gonna have to move out of your way, and now they're moving.
When you were younger, like, were you like a theatrical person? Were you like into kind of just like reenacting things and just like kind of creating content before creating content was a thing? Like,
so I would say I was into like weird stuff that like a lot of my friends were never like could never get, like something like Rent. Like I watched Rent and I was like, this is kind of cool. Like, And like my friends are like, this is like, nah, this is not it, bro. I'm like, nah, I fucking like this shit. Like this is kind of cool. And I've always had like a brain to like branch out and like, just be outside of that little bubble of whatever it is from wherever you are to like get into those things. Like, so I don't know. I felt like I just started to like, be more outspoken. Like everybody always looked to me when somebody needed a speech or something. Like even when I was young, like everybody's like, oh, what to say, Malik? Like, everybody always came to me.
Stepping into the uncomfortable is a really difficult thing. And I think like that's something that's truly admirable, from my perspective is seeing somebody be able just to push through, any negative thought processes or like anything that's going to hinder you from actually breaking through and making it. So it's really inspirational just to kind of hear where you came from and how things are going now.
Hell yeah, man. It was a tough road. It's still a longer road ahead of me. Still some stuff that I got to clean up. But like, man, it's stopping me is something. Like I am so obsessed with creativity. I can't not do it. Like I'm too
to
obsessed
that point,
with it.
man. You have so many projects in the works right now. So I know you're coming from a forged stout brewery.
Yeah,
event
we're
right
actually
now.
at Chicken Pete's and they came through and they gave us the belt. So we're holding the belts for the tailgate and we're gonna have people take pictures with the belt counters, actual belt. Like it's gonna be crazy.
That's awesome. And we had Dumphy on last week. He was talking about, talking about the podcast and just, like, tell us about the podcast. Tell us, I guess if you have any guests coming up, what's going on with that?
So the podcast, actually, it was craziest thing, like, cause like I'm a workhorse and Dumphy a workhorse too, just like me. And like, we talked about the podcast maybe like 2 weeks before. We like, yo, let's start a podcast. Well, we kind of talked about it maybe a month earlier, and then we talked about it again, like, yo, let's fucking knuckle down and get this, let's do the podcast. So we sat down, had a meeting, me, the cameraman, our boy Pick, and then literally 2 weeks later, we're sitting in front of a camera, fucking doing a podcast, and we got people on deck, like, we had Freddie Mitchell, Ed Bassmaster, crazy big numbers. I mean, like, OT the Real, it's like back to back to back, and like we got people more lined up. Like I got Mark Jackson, Big Mark Jackson. He's played basketball for the Sixers. He's online.
T for Temple U, baby. T for
Temple U. We had Terrence Ross. I want to say Terrence Ross. Used to play for the Raptors. That's his
Magic.
name, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Terrence Ross.
We got him. We got him on deck. We got Jennifer Slay's wife. I mean, Jennifer Slay, Darius Slay's wife. We got her on
banana
deck
pudding. Yeah, you gotta get the banana pudding recipe.
We got a couple people that want to be involved, and the more it spreads, the better for us. And I'm just so fortunate to be able, because I'm work at Garage, for them to give us that spot to actually, like, use, and like, the background's poppy, everyone wants to see it, and it's growing, man. Like I went from, hey, aren't you that guy from TikTok, to aren't you that guy from the podcast, and it's like, I'm like, yo, this is crazy, man.
So we asked Dumphy this last week about who his like dream podcast guest would be. He said Drake and Joe Rogan. What about you? If you could sit down with any person in the garage talking to them, something that hopefully you wouldn't be like so starstruck you could even get some words out, who would that person be?
Not too starstruck. Okay, so if you go not too starstruck, I would go Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
And then
I think I'm cool. I know I'm sexy.
That's my shit right there. And if we go too starstruck, I will go Brian Dawkins for sure.
Brian Dawkins.
Yeah.
He just came. Yeah. Well, Dumphy just got the tattoo. He just came through. Did you meet him during that interaction as well?
I would have died. No, I did not. I wasn't there for that. Yeah, I wish I was, but I wasn't there for that.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Stone Cold too.
Let's talk a little bit, since we're on the topic of Brian Dawkins. Like, who's your first Eagles jersey? When did your Eagles fandom begin? Like, favorite player? Like, give us like your Eagles background.
Okay, so my favorite player obviously was Brian Dawkins watching growing up, because that was around the time when I was growing up. My first jersey, though, I think was Bobby Taylor. And I used to, Bobby Taylor jersey. It was,
21.
Yeah, 21. It was a Bobby Taylor jersey, and we used to play football in this patch of grass. That, like, it's so small when I think about it now, like, as I'm an adult, but the patch of grass couldn't be no bigger than 4x4 inches. 4x4 yards. And we would fucking throw down in that little patch of grass with my Bobby Taylor jersey on. And that's when, like, jerseys were, like, a big thing. Like, you always had to have a jersey on, like, playing football. Corey Dillon, Marshall Faulk, but yeah. So, like, I had the Bobby Taylor jersey. I never been to an Eagles game until I was 27 or 6-ish. My mom obviously could not afford to like send us to Eagles games, and then I worked at Green Eggs Cafe and I was the GM, so like I couldn't get off on Sundays. Like, once you're the best in the company, you're not getting off on a Sunday that sells brunch. So I never had off on Sundays to be able to go to an Eagles game until I stopped working there, and then now first Eagles game. And it's like ever since I did that, it's just couldn't stop.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
How awkward is Thanksgiving at home when you got your mom cheering for the Cowboys every single day on Thanksgiving, causing a damn scene in your house?
Wait. Mom's a Cowboys fan?
Yeah.
Mom is a Cowboys
fan.
Malik calls up his mom during the podcast just to roast her. Hey, Mom, I love you, but how about them Cowboys?
I can't wait. You're lucky it was on bye week this week, man. I was gonna talk so much shit. So yeah, definitely is annoying, but I love my mom. But it is very annoying because she's a Cowboys fan because my dad is also a Cowboys fan, so it's super trash.
Oh my lord!
Yeah,
it gets
I know.
worse.
Well,
it keeps getting worse.
She followed after him. I mean, honestly, of course that's what happened because she doesn't watch football for real, but she watches football. But the Thanksgiving is like has not been like the most traditional thing in my life in the last couple of years. My mom doesn't live in Philadelphia; she actually lives in Delaware, and like we don't really have a house to go back to. So like we don't really have like a big Thanksgiving thing. I usually just go to Chinatown almost every year. But yeah, well, back when I was a young boy, it was annoying.
I love the idea of going to Chinatown for Thanksgiving.
I go to Chinatown for Thanksgiving and Christmas every year because those are the only two things open. It's like a food industry thing. If you're in the industry, you know about like, that life is just always on the go, always doing stuff. So like, preparation for Thanksgiving is not a thing. Yeah.
Hanukkah celebrator over here. So Christmas Day, very familiar with the Chinese menu.
Exactly. So I'm writing like David's or something like that down there.
Yeah, I think your story about your parents being Cowboys fans is just another testament to your sort of ability, from your early humble beginnings of being able to pull yourself out in really hard situations to being able to step away from your parents in that hard situation as well and be like, no, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, right. Like I hate when people say that, like, oh, my dad was a Cowboys. Throw your own balls.
Thank you.
God. Support your local tackle football team.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, I mean, listen, man, you have an awesome story. Keep going. We love what you're doing. And like I said, man, you just exhibit a ton of positivity. Always got a smile on your face. I mean, you've been cheesing this whole entire podcast, bro.
I'm just happy, man. It's like, y'all appreciate me. That's crazy. Like, not to say like I've never been appreciated, but like it's just crazy that for people that like I don't hang with on a regular, just hopped over here and like y'all know information about me. That's fucking. I appreciate that. That's awesome.
And why won't those Delco girls reciprocate that, Malik?
Man,
we don't
Delco,
understand.
Keep me away. If I ever run into a Delco girl, keep her away from me. I'm done with them. I'm done with them.
All right, let's get into some.
But then you might not also be done with them, right?
But like I might not. Like it depends.
Oh man, those Delco girls. All right, well, hey, let's get into a little bit of Eagles talk. So as you know, Howie Roseman absolutely fleeced the Titans this week, and we got again Bayard. So listen, Malik, and this would be a funny real idea. I'm 100% convinced, and I will not jump off of this. Like, I'm 100% convinced that Howie Roseman has some lewd pictures of Mike Vrabel in an Atlantic City hotel room with some loose women and some stuff behind him that we can constantly get away with this blackmail. I mean, he's got some dirt to be able to constantly keep getting away with this.
Bro, he's like
what
Debo shaking him down. He's like Debo. Come here. Dump. All right, bro, I see you. Here go Dump right here. Yeah. Hey, don't leave my stuff in your car.
Best friends forever.
BFFs.
Yeah. All right. So anyway,
Pulp
my bad.
Fiction.
I'm sorry. What was that question again?
So the whole Kevin Byard pickup. I mean, just absolutely wild. Howie Roseman fleecing him again.
I'm
thinking about Delco
Howie
girls
Roseman
again.
is like, no, hell no. I think Howie Roseman is really like Debo. He like Debo out here with these transactions, man. He like, yeah, I'm gonna take this, and that, and go fuck yourself. And it's like, okay, Howie. Like, the way he managed to get AJ Brown, Bird, like all this shit that he got over the Swift, like he is a master class negotiator. They should probably have him in like some type of army situation for negotiation for sure.
And we got rid of Terrell Edmonds, and we traded like our weak link.
Literally, and like literally, he's giving crumbs. He's selling salt to a slug. He's selling rain to a bug. He's like he's the ultimate salesman.
Derrick Henry's going to be on the roster tomorrow.
Seriously,
somehow.
like we won't wake up. We gonna have literal Clark Kent at linebacker. How the fuck he get Superman? Shit. I didn't know the Justice League was in this league.
That's great.
Well, let's take a look at this game. The Eagles, they're right now they're on the road against Washington. They're playing Washington for the second time this year. I don't like that the way that our schedule has worked. We're playing Washington twice, then we're playing Dallas twice, then we're playing New York twice. I wish that they intermixed these NFC East matchups a little bit. Yeah. I don't know, a little bit more random, but anyway, nonetheless, we barely screeched by last game. We beat the Commanders in overtime, and we were at home. Now we're on the road, another 1:00 game. Over/under is 43.5. Yeah, Malik, I'm gonna send it to you first. Just general thoughts on the game. We're coming off a huge statement win against Miami.
That's what I'm saying. Yep, huge statement win. Huge statement win. I think we sometimes we often play to our opponent instead of playing our own game. We often play to our opponent because we could play somebody like the Jets and play down to them. And sometimes that happens. That's why I always fear a little bit when we play the teams like the Commanders, who are not a great team, but it's a divisional game. We're playing them twice. They're familiar with us. And it's always a little like, I don't know, what's in the air when we play them. And it's always a little something in the air, and it's annoying as fuck. But I do think that we do have their number, and we can take them this time. I do think we got their number now. I think we can put a little hurting on them.
Hit me with the score prediction on the
score
spot.
Prediction? Oh, come on now. Score. You can't get me to do score predictions. 28-0. Never go against the family. 28-0. They don't score a point. Don't ask me. That's my team. Why would I want them to score? I don't want the other team to score at all. I would never. That's not a prediction to me. This is a spoiler. 28-0.
Drop the mic.
Never go against the family.
What do you think, Ali?
Oh, yeah, man. So every week when we do these analyses, I try to bring in some stats and look at, what is a reason or what are some of the reasons why the Birds lose in this game. And frankly, I can't find one other than what you just said, Malik, right? To move away from playing our own game and start playing theirs. And I think the Commanders, out of any other team, have been able to show that they've been able to pull us away from what we want to do and, sort of make them play or make us play their game. Whether it's last year when they held on to the ball for so long, whether it was this year when, they basically shut down the run. The Washington Commanders offense has given up the most sacks out of any team this season, which plays to us. They've given up the fifth most interceptions. Their defense is fifth worst. I'm sorry. Their offense is 27th in their passing yards. They're pretty bad. They're pretty bad. Their defense has given the fifth worst in total yards. They've given up the second most in touchdowns. The one thing that I will say about their defense is they do sack the quarterback a lot. They're number 5 out of all NFL teams in sacks, so they're able to get after the quarterback, which isn't too bad, right? And they have an average rush defense. So, for me, as I try to think about what are some of the ways that we can lose this game, honestly, their pass defense is pretty garbage. I would hope that Brian Johnson goes in with a well-balanced attack like we did last week, kind of 50-50 split or more on the 60-40 side of rush versus pass. Establish the run so that we can get Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown. And
we need to establish a run for sure.
100%. So in my mind, I think this should be an easy win so long as we play our game and we have a good game plan coming into this game. So if all of this holds true, my score prediction is 42-7 Eagles.
Woo!
Let's go. Never go against the family.
Yo, Ali, 42-7. And Malik, I just want to give you some insight. He predicted the Dolphins were going to win this game. So Ali's usually he's a realist when it comes to some of this stuff. But hey,
that's fair. That's fair. If you really talking about stats, see, I'm a Delulu fan right now. Okay, and I'm always going to be a Delulu fan. But I get it. If you're talking real stats, that's fair.
So my only analysis of this game is the only person that's going to get in our way of absolutely blowing this team out is going to be Brian Johnson. We just got to work on our red zone offense. That's the only thing.
Our red zone offense is trash. I'm not going to lie.
Red zone offense is trash. It can't be 3rd and 9 and we're running quarterback draws.
I was about to say 3rd and 9 and the quarterback draw is the craziest thing I've ever seen. I'm like, yo, that was massively out of pocket.
We can't be doing that. We can't be doing that. If we get our red zone offense done, I have literally no concerns. When Eli Ricks is blanketing Tyreek Hill, Terrell Edmonds is covering Tyreek Hill down the field, and he gets traded as our weak link, and we hold that explosive Miami offense to nothing.
Right.
This is the second time we're seeing Sam Howell. I think it's going to be really bad. Their locker room is starting to lose confidence in that franchise. You got players. I think E-Rock shared something last night. He's like, oh, I can't wait to be in the stadium. He's like, yo, F this. It's been 7 years of me losing, blah, blah, blah. So, I think I kind of share the same sentiment as you guys. I can't wait to get some buff dip, an ice cold Yingling, 1 o'clock game. I think I'm going to be turning it off.
You should take that Yingling and get a Forge, honestly.
I was just going to say I'm going to get a Forge Irish Stout, and I'm going to be doing that. It's going to be awesome. I think we're going to win this one right at the 43.5 point game total. I'm going to say Philly 31, Commanders 12.
That's 31-12.
31-12.
I think Washington overperformed the first time they played against us, and I think if they battled that hard and still came out with an L, I don't see how they can have any confidence going into this week, even if they are playing at their own stadium, that dump of a stadium. Ali, you rattled off some stats before. I mean, the Washington is 29th in points allowed per game. They're 29th in total yards allowed per game. They're 28th in pass yards allowed per game. So I need AJ Brown to break that consecutive 125. Yep, he's
Eagles
another
record.
game of 125. And you know what? Devontae Smith, both receivers are going for 100 this game. This is a game for Devontae Smith to get back on track. He hasn't seen 100 yards in a couple weeks now. This is time for him to make some big plays, get that confidence back up. And but at the same time, I want to see a balanced offensive attack. So don't want it to necessarily be airing it out the entire game. Yeah. So let's see some balance. And so my score prediction, I think it's going to be a blowout. I'm going to go 37. Oh man, 37-9. 37-9. I'm keeping it below 10 after.
I'll take 3 field goals.
Sam Howell's not sniffing the end zone.
Yeah, right.
So let's do it, man. Let's do it on Sunday.
Malik is making believers out of all of us. Just blowouts every single week. Every
single week. Listen. Never go against it. That's my team. Like what?
I never used to be like this, Malik. I never used to be like this.
That's like you being on the team and you like, they might score a touchdown. Like, no, I'm on this team. What are you talking about?
What did you say with Jason Martinez? You're sitting there on the news and you're like, never go against a family. It's going to be 45-0 Eagles.
45-0 Eagles. Never go against the family. I don't want them to gain another,
all right, guys, let's get into swinging it. And then Andrew, explain the game and then we'll send us home.
Swinging it. Underdog picks for the week.
I was swinging my bird.
Oh, this is an exciting. You gonna burp?
I'm swinging my bird.
His bird.
Swinging his bird. Yeah, we're swinging it.
For all you YouTube people, we're gonna do an OnlyFans episode for this one too, for the Malik Joe show.
Well, we were swinging it topless last week, which I guess is better than swinging it bottomless, because then you can really do a little, have some fun with
get a
that.
little wiggle going.
Oh, so how does this game work? We're playing swinging it. It's another fun week. All you got to do is pick an underdog, and if you pick correctly, if that team wins the game outright, you get the number of points that team is receiving in the spread. Now, don't look at the standings, but your boy over here, that's me, I'm pointing to myself. I was right in the bottom last week. I was at 2 measly points. I'm up to 11 now. Still in last place, but after that Patriots win, I got 9 points. I've gone from 2 to 11.
Let's go.
So I'm slowly creeping back up.
Let's go.
Then we got the audience and Aleks. So Malik, you and Aleks are going. You guys are tied at 14 right now. So Dunphy picked correctly. He took the Giants last week. Also beat the Commanders. So 3 points for the audience takes the audience to 14. Aleks, you lost, so you still have 14. Mm-hmm. And Ali is the front runner at 25. So he's the villain, the enemy, the one that we're chasing after.
All right,
Malik, all eyes are on you. Who you going with?
I'm going Buccaneers for sure. I'm going the Rams over the Cowboys.
So you're only going to pick one game that you like.
Rams over Cowboys, easy.
Rams over Cowboys. So the Rams are going to be, at least from what I see on FanDuel, a 6.5 point underdog to beat the Cowboys. I love that pick, Malik. That was actually one of the ones that I was thinking of going for.
Sure.
Is that just not going against the family, or what's your justification for that one?
Because fuck the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Well, he is.
Take that, Mom.
He is going the family. He is going against the family.
Yeah, I'm going against the family for sure. Fuck the Cowboys. I pray every night that they never win a fucking game. Every night that they never win a game. If I was to get 3 wishes from a goddamn genie, I wish they would never win a game 3 times.
You might.
Oh my god. Yo, Apple's gonna take our clean rating away from us on this podcast because I'm editing none of this out.
I mean, my bad. I didn't know.
You're good, bro. I don't care. It's funny. As hell.
We're doing it live.
We're doing it live. We're doing it right now.
We'll do it live.
Fuck it. Sorry, he did it, so I'm doing it. Again, you're contagious. It's all contagious.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
All right. So I still have the luxury of getting to pick earlier in the process because I'm still in last place. Looking again, I see Patriots +9, and that's like, how do I automatically not, that should be the pick, but I'm not going to do it. I'm actually going to go with the battle at the Meadowlands. You got the New York Jets at the New York Giants. It's basically a home game for both teams, but the Giants are getting 3. I know Tyrod Taylor's still doing his thing. I think this is going to just be a heavy defensive matchup, kind of a coin flip. But I'm going to take the Giants getting 3, quote unquote, at home. And I'm hoping to be tied with the audience and Alex after this week if they don't win.
Wait, so how do I keep up with my points?
We'll tell you. We got graphics. We'll send it to you. You can post it to your story and everything. We got
kick
the whole
your ass,
thing.
Ali.
Yo, Ali picked. Yo, you'll actually love this. So Ali's biggest point differential was 12 when he bet the Cardinals would beat the Cowboys, and they did. Josh Dobbs,
I love
ugly
that for you,
mofo. I love that. I take it all back.
I bet that too.
All right, man. There are some good. There's some good matchups. A lot of really close ones. Not getting a lot of points. I'm just going to be a sucker. I'm going to take the easy one. Brock Purdy is out with a concussion, and you know what's going to happen? The NFL is going to look at that play and be like, oh, yeah, now we need to ban the tush push because the little tiny 5'2" white QB that weighs 114 pounds is now taken out.
You think they'll ban it?
Well, I mean, homie, the 49ers have been crying all off season about everything that's gone wrong their way. It's just like, who would have thought taking the last pick in the NFL draft would be something that would be risky to you? The dude's 120 pounds soaking wet. Like, what do you expect
now they have
from him?
Sam Darnold, former number 2. What was he? The number 2 overall pick in the draft when he got drafted?
That's true.
So Ali made a pretty good point. He said because the 49ers are still 3.5-point favorites, it shows how much of a system quarterback Brock Purdy is than actually how good Brock Purdy is.
He's not
so
that
I'm
good.
going to take the Bengals at +3.5. Got a crack on my screen here. +3.5 underdog to overtake the 49ers at home in Santa Clara. Should be a good game. 426. So after the Eagles go 7-1, I'm definitely tuning into that one.
7-1. We will be 7-1 easily.
All right, Ali. And then you know what? We're going to do something different. After Ali announces his, we're going to have Malik send us home.
Love it. All right. God, you guys took every single matchup that I wanted. I'm looking at
I'm starting to sweat.
I'm starting to sweat. Looking at the Cleveland Browns. I don't know if I want to pick with PJ Walker again. You could be lucky 2 times. I don't know if he can be lucky 3 times with PJ Walker. Because Malik, what my second biggest pick this season was the Cleveland Browns beating the San Francisco 49ers after I found out Deshaun Watson wasn't playing. So,
oh shit, I like that pick too, honestly.
PJ Walker, you can't bet against Temple. You
You really can't.
But you know what though? It's like it's calling to me. The New England Patriots at the Miami Dolphins. The last time these guys played, the Dolphins won 24-17. It was a lot closer of a game than people expected. I think the Eagles just put out the blueprint on how to beat the Miami Dolphins, and I mean, it's Bill Belichick, right? Like, he's a defensive-minded coach. I think he's going to be able to lock up that Dolphins team pretty good. So give me the New England Patriots over the Miami Dolphins +9.5.
I have that patented. You're not allowed to take that pick after what happened last week, Ali. That is my forever pick. If Patriots are +9, no one else is allowed to take them.
You know what, Drew?
Take it.
Drew, if they win, you can have my points.
Yo, what's that you always say, Malik? Sucks to be you, dickhead.
Sucks to be you, dickhead. Saw your shit.
All right, Malik, this was episode 66. Send us home.
Damn,
Close us out.
was episode 66. Y'all doing good things out here.
Yo,
this has been
brother.
episode 66 in the Winging It podcast. It's your boy, the real Malik Joe. We got Alec, we got Andrew, we got Ali, 3 A's in the building. I'm going to triple A my ass on up out of here.
Go Birds, baby!